What's up guys, my name is Ace, and today we're going to be looking at the epic variant of the FHR, which is called the Windfall. This variant allows you to regenerate health every time you get a kill on an enemy. Let's get into it. Alright guys, so just in case you're wondering where the FHR Windfall is, it's not in the craftable area for the weapon variants. The FHR Windfall is actually earned by reaching level 50 for the JTF Wolverines mission team. So once you reach that level 50, you'll have this gun available to use. Now the Windfall has two weapon perks. The first one is invigorate, and with this one, every time you kill an enemy, you refill a portion of your health. And this is going to be what we're mainly looking at today, but the other perk that it has is stockpile, which increases your ammo. It actually increases the size of your magazine, as well as your total ammo count. So let's look at this invigorate weapon perk and see just how much it refills your health when you kill enemies. So for this testing, what I did is I went into a custom match with Enya, and what we did is I disabled regeneration of health. So the normal regeneration of health is turned off, and that way any health regeneration is coming from the Windfall directly. So what we did here is I shot her in the foot with the KBS longbow, which we know now from the hard stats, that'll take you down to 1 health if you shoot them in the foot. From here, she killed me once, and as you see when I come back, it looks like we regenerated about 10 to 15 health, just based on the bar above her head. After killing me the second time, I run back to her, and it looks like we gained about the same amount. Again, about 10 to 15 health, not very much. After the third time she killed me, once again, it looks like it's a comparable result. We got about 10 to 15 health back. Once we get to the fourth time though, this is where things get interesting. She was at about 45 health, somewhere around there, just based at looking at that bar above her head. After this fourth kill on me, from about 45 health, she completely regenerated the rest of her health from 1 kill. Now my initial thought to this was, I guess the higher the streak you're on with the Windfall, the more health you regenerate. But I did a little bit more testing, and that doesn't appear to be the case. I tested several times without the Windfall user dying, so their streak just kept going and going and going, and I got the same result every time. When they were at very low health, they regenerated a small amount of health, but as soon as they got to that 45% health range or somewhere around there, they would pretty much instantly regenerate the rest of their health from 1 kill. So it seems we don't have a flat percentage health regeneration with invigorate. So what seems to happen is if you're in that lower health range, somewhere between like 0 and 45% health, you only gain back a very small amount of health for every kill that you get. But once you get above that 45 to 50% range with your health, you will completely regenerate health from just 1 kill. So if an enemy just shoots you once or maybe twice with a lower damage gun, and you end up getting the kill on them, you completely regenerate your health as if that gunfight didn't happen to you. But if they get you down to really low health and they almost get you, but you still manage to come out on top in that gunfight, you only get a little bit of that health back and you're still going to be hurt really bad coming out of that gunfight. Just to show a little bit more testing here, I shot her with the NV4 flatline twice. This takes her down to 40 health. And at 40 health, when she gets a kill on me, she doesn't completely regenerate her health. It does take her up above that 50% mark though, so when she gets the second kill on me, it does completely regenerate her health. Now one last thing I wanted to test, just because I was curious, is what happens if you melee kill someone with the Windfall in your hand? Turns out you still regenerate health, and that makes sense. Usually, if you melee somebody with the gun in your hand, any kills with that count towards the gun for challenges, so it makes sense that it would also regenerate your health here. As long as the Windfall is in your hand when you're meleeing them, you will still regenerate health. So obviously, this epic variant gives you a pretty good upside, especially in core game modes. For hardcore, there is an argument that like you can't regenerate health, so it would be nice to use this gun so you can regenerate health, but realistically, how much is that going to help you in your next gunfight? Probably not so much, because most guns, or a lot of guns, are going to be a one-shot kill in hardcore anyways, or at least the ones that people tend to use in hardcore. So honestly, it's not really going to help you that much in my opinion. But for core game modes, this can definitely help, especially if you're an aggressive player that tends to go on some kill streaks and little kill sprees on enemies. The big thing is though, if you get in a gunfight and that enemy gets you right down to low health, this isn't going to do too much for you. It's only going to regenerate that like 10 to 15 health, which might end up helping the next gunfight, but there's a good chance that it does absolutely nothing for you. This weapon perk really shines when you only get hit like once or maybe twice in a gunfight by your enemy. As soon as you take a lot of damage, it's not doing too much for you. So obviously this appears to be a very powerful variant of the FHR. But it got me thinking, with the NV4 flatline for instance, there is a bit of a downside to using that. You get the unlimited 4-shot kill potential, but that comes at a cost of rate of fire. You get a lower rate of fire, which makes it less competitive against a base NV4 up close. So that got me thinking, where's the downside to this FHR? And to be honest, I couldn't find a downside. Keeping in mind that I don't have the hard stats yet, and maybe there is something that I haven't noticed, I haven't been able to find with my testing that is a downside, but so far everything seems to be pure upside with the FHR Windfall. Our damage ranges seem to be the same, our hipfire seems to be the same, we get extra ammo, so our ammo count is increased, so that's just a pure bonus. And the fire rate, I tested it side by side with the base FHR, and they're identical. So with this epic variant, there's really no reason not to use this over the base FHR. And I'm not too sure how I feel about that. I kind of like the idea of having the epics have some sort of downside, like they have a really cool perk with them, but there's also a downside to using it to keep them a little bit balanced. At the end of the day though, I don't see the FHR as being a super powerful weapon in this game, and therefore even having that bonus with the Windfall variant, it doesn't make this gun top tier by any means. It might help you in a couple situations when you're being super aggressive, but realistically, how much is it going to improve your game? Probably not at all in a noticeable sort of way. So there we have it. That's going to wrap it up for the FHR Windfall. Basically, if you've got it, there's really not much reason not to use it unless you like one of the other variants of the FHR. But I wouldn't call it overpowered, I wouldn't even call it top tier. It's just a solid epic variant that has a cool little weapon perk attached to it. I'd like to know in the comments section below, which of the FHR variant is your favorite to use in the game? Is it the Windfall, or is it one of the other FHR variants that is actually a lower tier? If you enjoyed the video, a like rating is always appreciated, and don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time.